gentlemen, it's the One Health Podcast. We're back for another week. I just want to thank everybody who's given us a listen this past year. As we get closer to 2019 here, we are really excited about the direction of this show and reaching as many people as we can. So I want to thank you guys for hopping on, subscribing. If you haven't already, make sure you guys go on that podcast app on your phone and subscribe, and just so you can stay up to date on the latest news, what we have going on, and the latest episodes. Also, I do want to mention we're doing something a little bit different this week. I want you guys to screenshot and tag and post on Instagram that you are listening to this episode, and we're going to randomly pick somebody for a $50 Amazon gift card, and we'll ship that to you. Doesn't matter where you are around the country, we will ship that to you. So make sure you guys do that. Again, screenshot that you're listening, tag One Health Podcasts, throw that up on Instagram, and we'll get you guys entered. But we do appreciate the love and support and sharing with your friends and family for sure. Special thanks to our sponsors, EcoGym. Make sure you guys go to ecogymworldwide.com. These guys are offering surge group fitness classes now. They're also going to be offering red light therapy, hyperbaric therapy, personal training, and we're also going to be including a wellness component with spa services and some hormone replacement therapy. So that's coming down the pipe in 2019. They're pretty excited about that. So make sure you guys do that. Find a club near you and get on board with their January sale, which is $5 to join. Today on the show, we have a truly amazing individual joining us, somebody that I've wanted to have on for a while. We have Cynthia Funai from CKF Acupuncture. Cynthia, thanks for
thank you for inviting me.
So Cynthia, a little bit of background on her. After a career in the pharmaceutical industry, which included both laboratory research and sales experience, she realized that there are alternatives to conventional Western medical approach and to addressing pain and disease. She believes that the mind, body, and spirit are integral components in the healing process, and they complement Western medicine. She's also a licensed acupuncturist and board certified in Chinese herbs. Did I miss anything?
No, that's it in a nutshell.
There we go. So acupuncture is something that I'm super interested in. I have zero experience in it, and I figured this would be great. I think a lot of people that are listening
acupuncture's been out there for 3,500 years, and it is gaining popularity here, which is the exciting part.
Yeah, I feel like you don't have a conversation, well, at least I don't, day to day, where people are like, oh yeah, I went and did acupuncture today. It just doesn't. This is not coming up. So for you, from a personal standpoint, what were some of the reasons from shifting from pharma to alternative medicine like this?
So a lot of the meds that are out there are for chronic disease, hypertension, cholesterol, and diabetes is a big one too. But you know what? The pills themselves don't treat the disease itself. It just manages the symptoms. And so when you're a rep, a pharmaceutical rep, you're out there visiting these physicians' offices quite often, and you come to realize that, especially the seniors, are seeing these doctors like every 3 months, and the doctors are telling you, hey, you know what, I can't afford my patients can't afford your medications, they're too expensive. But yet nothing's happening with these guys. So you know what, you think, okay, well, there's got to be something better. And so, being Asian, growing up with, my dad did Chinese herbs. He would go down to Chinatown when I was a kid, bring back the sticks and the leaves and everything, cook it at home. It wasn't a far cry for me to jump to acupuncture and Chinese medicine.
It's such a good point you brought up. These just cover the symptoms, these medications do. And so like in my industry, in the fitness industry, it's more of let's get preventative with it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of your approach that you take with the acupuncture stuff too.
The way I look at it is that with Chinese medicine, acupuncture, when someone comes in to see me, you have signs. You have signs that something's going on in your body. Maybe not symptoms, but you have signs. And so Chinese medicine, we're trained to identify and look for these things. Whereas when you've progressed down this continuum, then Western medicine says, okay, you've got these symptoms. then they label it with the disease, and then they give you medication. But we can get to, the patient before they get to that point, so they can do things. They can change their lifestyle. They can change their diet. Many things that they could do before and not even hit the symptom stage.
I think more people, and that's why I'm glad you're on here, more people need to be educated, and instead of your first response just automatically going to grab meds, like let's try some different things first, because a lot of times those meds have terrible side effects, and then you need to take another med to cure the side effect from that med.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
and that's just why, it's just great to hear about things like this. So what exactly is acupuncture? What is the process? So when I hear it, and I'm sure a lot of other people hear it, they think they're gonna poke me with a bunch of needles. like what? And I'm sure people are I'm sure they're scared of that. You know what I mean? So what is the process? What are you exactly doing when you do it?
Okay, so acupuncture, just in a nutshell, it's all about circulation of blood and qi. QI, chi, which is the energy. And so it's all about circulation of that in your body. So when, there are 14 basic pathways in your body where the energy and the blood flow. Chinese blood, Chinese energy flow.
Okay.
And so you have like 14 pathways that are all interconnected. So whenever you have a blockage in one of those pathways, then you have an issue. I mean, it could be pain, it could be sleep, could be stress induced, it could be anything. And so what my needles do is when I, put in my needles, it helps with the flow of blood and qi.
Okay. Are they going just slightly below your skin, or do they go deeper than that into like muscle tissue? Like how?
It depends where the needles are. So if we're going into like an area where you have a lot of muscle or a lot of fat, of course, you're going to go deeper in.
Okay.
But if you're going to go into an area like your hand, it's going to be very shallow.
Okay.
Or your scalp or your ear, or it depends on how much fat and muscle you have there.
Okay. Now, does this help with, so in our industry, we have a lot of people who have very tight muscles, right?
Okay.
They could have a knot somewhere or cramping or something like that. Does acupuncture help with that at all?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So, when people have tight muscles, when they have like a spasm or a knot, yes, acupuncture can help. That's usually an acute problem.
Okay.
And so, yes, acupuncture can help. If it's a chronic problem, acupuncture can still help. It may take a little bit longer, but yes, acupuncture can still help with that.
Okay. As far as other things that this helps heal or treat, I noticed on your website you listed allergies, there was stress and energy too. How does it help with those symptoms?
Again, when and the holiday season like now is when I really promote stress relief. And again, you know what? Whenever you're stressed or you feel kind of stuck, sometimes the brain doesn't work, you can't move, you can't decide what you want to do. That's being stuck. And so that's what the acupuncture does. It helps things flow. And it doesn't relieve your stress, but it helps the way your body deals with the stress.
Okay.
So, you get clarity of mind, less fogginess, you feel like you have a little bit more direction, you can think more clearly, and that's what the acupuncture does. And while you're on the table, that too is very calming.
So I was going to ask you, that was going to be my next question is, are you like playing any sort of music on there? Are you saying anything to your patients while you're treating them, or do you kind of let them be?
I let them be.
Okay.
A lot of times, while I'm inserting my needles, while I'm doing my acupuncture, I can just tell by looking at someone's eyes whether or not they're kind of going into the zone.
Okay.
And then I just kind of shut up and continue on my way. And then, I'll have like either soft music, some kind of white noise, because I don't want them to hear what's going out, in the clinic.
Yeah.
So yes. So it's very calming. Make sure they're warm, relaxed, and I hear a lot of snoring. I mean, people get very relaxed.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, it is.
That's a really good sign. So how long is an average acupuncture treatment? Does it depend on what is ailing them?
Generally, I would say 60 minutes, 45
Oh,
to
okay.
60 minutes. So someone could come during the lunch hour if I know, you're really, tight on time. 45 minutes to 60 minutes. And the reason why for that is because you're on the table for 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay. The rest of it is prep and getting the needles
Right.
inserted
And if
where
someone
they need
has
to
to
be.
change or, So,
Okay.
yeah. So it's pretty straightforward.
Is this like a massage table kind of same
Yes.
type of
Same
thing?
type of massage table.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Got
It
it.
definitely is. And so, you know what? Generally, the style that I practice, generally people are face up, pillow, something for your knees, and very relaxed. And so just
Okay.
try to make it as relaxing as possible.
Okay. I also read a little bit about seasonal affective disorder. I saw that you had that on your website. What is seasonal for those that don't know what it is that are listening?
When you don't have enough sunlight, like during the winter months when you have like less than 12 hours of sunlight, you're wearing dark, you're wearing clothes, coats, you're just not exposed to the sun. People experience a little bit of sadness, depression during these, December, January, February, March months.
Okay.
And so acupuncture can help with that as well. Of course, I do recommend that they take, vitamin D supplements. Anything to help them lift their spirits. But I do Chinese herbs. And the acupuncture just really helps with that. Again, it gets things flowing.
The energy,
Yeah.
the flowing. Okay. And it's funny. I feel like I've said this 3 or 4 times on this show, but everything is connected. And one of your things was the mind, body, and spirit too. When your mind is out of whack, you need to get things readjusted because it just has a trickle down effect
Yes.
into everything else in your body.
Yes.
So, I mean, from
Not
your
just your attitude, but
yeah,
everything. Yes.
I mean, down to like your immune system,
yes.
and
And
that's you talk about stress.
and so many studies show your cortisol levels go up, your immune system. I mean, yes, affects everything, and people don't think that way. And there's a strong relationship too between depression and chronic pain. Sometimes you don't know which came first, the chronic pain or the depression. So you know what? There's a big connection people don't recognize.
Yeah. Chinese herbs. Talk to me a little bit about that. First off, what are they? Like, are you like mixing stuff together and boiling it in a pot and drinking it like a tea? What are you doing with the herbs?
You know what? Ideally, that's the way to take the Chinese herbs, but honestly, it doesn't taste very good.
Oh.
So, so compliance can be an issue. So now we have pills.
Oh, okay.
It all comes in pills. But the preferable way to take it is to actually take your roots and your leaves and your bark and cook it if you could, because that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
The second best way probably is granules that are dissolved in hot water, and so you're still drinking it as a tea. So,
Okay.
and then pills, of course.
So that's the process. What kind of herbs are going into these pills, I guess, or granules or
Almost everything and anything. In Chinese medicine, a lot of foods are considered herbs. So you'll have even tofu, rice. I said tofu, didn't I? Tofu, rice, berries, fruits, vegetables. These are all herbs in Chinese medicine. And then you do have your roots and your flowers and everything else. Dandelion, that's a Chinese herb. So there are, I forgot how many herbs out there, but there are a number of herbs. And with the thing with Chinese formulas is that you'll probably have 10 to maybe 25 herbs in these formulas, but they're all there to balance the side effects of the single herbs. It's not like taking, like here we tend to take supplements that are just a single thing like vitamin C or calcium. And so you can overdose on those, or you can do too much. Too much of a good thing's not good.
Yeah, I see in a lot of supplements, I read the labels on it and it's like 3,000% of your daily recommended value. And then I think to myself, well, my body's not even going to use all of that anyway.
Right.
So what's the point?
Right.
So that's a good point.
Right. So with the herbs, with the Chinese formulas, they're all balanced out so that, you lose the side effects.
Okay.
So they're balanced out.
So is this used to treat a lot of the same things? Allergies, depression, things like that?
The herbs?
I mean, I'm sure there's herbs that treat whatever, anything.
Yes, when you're looking at Chinese herbs, you could treat pain, you could treat allergies, you could treat asthma, or you could even address internal medicine issues. Some people for high blood pressure, you can do that, although in Chinese medicine, it's a different diagnosis. It might be blood stagnation, or it might be qi deficiency.
Okay.
So, we look at each person as an individual, and then each person has a different diagnosis. Like you may have two people with thyroid issue, but they present totally differently. Here in the Western medicine, they're both given some kind of thyroid medication. In Chinese medicine, you may have one that's heavy because their metabolism slow. You may have one that's thin, even though they're both thyroid. Their thyroid is hypothyroid.
Mm-hmm.
So you would treat them differently in Chinese medicine with the herbs.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
it
really
is.
interesting.
It is.
It's funny that you said, a lot of the foods that we eat are medicine because we try to preach the same things here. It's almost more important even than the exercise to get the nutrition down first, and to be taking in these healthy leafy greens and some of the berries for the antioxidant properties and all this stuff. I feel like we're kind of catching up to some of the Chinese meds. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you'll see it's advertised all over now, like the antioxidant thing.
Yes.
With the berries. And there's a lot of other ones
like astragalus.
Yeah.
In Chinese medicine, it's huang qi. I mean, it is an actual herb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go to the grocery store and I shop and I see all this stuff, and now it's being marketed to us.
Yes.
That these all natural things are good.
Because they're finding that they work.
Yeah.
They work. Yeah. So it's very interesting how everything's coming full circle.
If we could just get the price down on some of this stuff, that's the other issue.
Yeah.
Go to the grocery store and all the good stuff for you is the most expensive stuff, or you have to go to a special wellness store to even get some of this stuff.
Because there is a lot of junk out there. So you have to be really careful with what you purchase, because you could be purchasing junk.
So if you're going to go purchase any of these pills or anything, is there anything you look for in particular where you can spot, okay, that's really gimmicky?
You know what? I usually source mine through, I don't want to give any names.
No, you can do it.
Like
you can
Pure
do a shameless plug if you
Encapsulations,
want to.
Microbiome. Okay. These are companies that I tend to go to because their products are good.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily go to your vitamin store down the street and purchase anything, so to speak, or your other drugstores down the street and purchase anything. I usually tend to go to these companies that specialize, and I know, and you know what, you just source it and you know that they're good stuff.
Yeah. But see, so for the average person, we have no idea what to even
and so you think,
for.
Okay, magnesium, I'm getting magnesium, is this good?
Yeah.
So in my pharmaceutical sales days, in my other life, I used to promote vitamins. I won't say which one, but I used to promote vitamins, and so kind of educated in that a little bit. That studies have been done. Whether it be Consumer Reports or whatever, studies have been done and have looked at these different vitamins, and you know what? It's not always what they say it is.
It's tough. I mean, even for us, we have our own line of supplements, and it was hard to sift through all the fog. There's a lot of companies out there that pump things full of fillers.
Yes.
So they'll have the main ingredient and they'll advertise that, but then the rest of the product is just fillers.
Right.
Because it's cheaper.
Right.
That way to produce it.
Because people usually purchase by cost.
Yep.
Right. Cost is a big factor. Right.
And that's it. And the problem is you have to pay for the quality.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, and you should. And I tell people that when they go to purchase supplements in the store, it's like spend the extra money
because it's worth it
to make sure you're getting, and It's tough with like labels too. You see like a shiny,
Right.
cool looking label, and you're like, oh yeah, this looks professional. I want that. That's
Right.
not always
The
the
case.
case.
True.
So there's things that you need to look for. But is there any advice you want to give to somebody who is interested in going for acupuncture? Is there anything? Is there anyone that is there anyone that acupuncture wouldn't be a good fit for?
Who wouldn't be a good candidate for acupuncture? I would say, generally speaking, I tell people who have had a lot of surgery or people who have had changes anatomically to their body that acupuncture may not work as well because you're you're changing the flow. I mean, things in your
Yeah.
body have changed, so you're changing the flow. If you look at like hip replacement or knee replacement, which is pretty common these days, you're actually changing the anatomical structure of the joint, so you're not getting the same kind of blood flow to those areas that you were before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that hip replacement, knee replacement, we can still help them, but the result may not be as great.
Okay.
And then there are some people who just don't respond to acupuncture. If it is structurally something that is wrong with you, I say give acupuncture a try. But if you have like spinal stenosis, which is narrowing of the spine, acupuncture is not going to open it up.
Yeah.
It'll help with the inflammation, but it's not going to open up that spine. So it depends on the situation. It really does.
Okay. Inflammation, that was one thing that I was going to ask you about.
Okay.
If you have inflammation in like, it's very common in people's backs and their knees.
Yes.
Acupuncture can help alleviate that.
Oh, big time. There have been a lot of studies done with back pain because it's so common.
Mm-hmm.
And acupuncture has been found to be effective, highly effective with back pain, lower back pain.
Yeah, and lower back pain is the most common of
Yeah.
them. That's awesome. That's really good. I'm going to have to start sending people your way from here because I swear, probably 50% of the people that walk through the door say they have some sort of lower back pain, lower back issues. A lot of it stems from being overweight and they don't have a strong core,
Right.
which is the problem. So, I mean, we know how to help those things. But in the meantime, though, to have something to alleviate that inflammation.
Because it's kind of like a vicious cycle. If they have back pain, they really don't have the mobility, so it's hard for them to work out. It's hard for them to work out. They can't strengthen their core. So it kind of like is a vicious cycle for these people, which is,
You got to find out the right first steps to take. That's the thing, So we have a lot of therapeutic things here, at EcoGym, like hyperbaric therapy, and a lot of the trainers do therapeutic stretching and massage with people first. A lot of times when people walk through my door, we got to take care of this stuff first before we can even get you to the point where you can start diving into this exercise.
Right.
So, yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get hurt.
Exactly. So I feel like people needed to hear this. Maybe go see an acupuncturist first to help alleviate some of these things.
Or even just multi-prong, not just one, not just two, maybe three. Yeah.
Exactly. To
be
treat some of those things first before you dive into this. Because January's coming around. Everybody's getting back into that.
Health, yeah.
I want to work out. I want to take care of my health, this, that, and the other thing. I'm guilty of it too. I've been slacking lately. But yeah, it's good to have some of this knowledge in your back pocket.
Yes.
Some of these things can help heal a lot of these issues. So anything else we need to know about acupuncture? Yeah.
I would say generally the people that come see me for acupuncture, and I think it's because acupuncture isn't, well known out there. People have tried everything under the sun before they come to acupuncture. Probably if you come to acupuncture a little bit before that, it could help you more.
Okay. So don't put it off.
Yeah, but generally you try everything you can, and then, nothing's worked, so let's do acupuncture. If you could come to acupuncture a little bit before that, that'd be good.
So you need to be thrown in the mix before they go try these other things.
Yes, definitely before surgery, though.
Yeah.
Definitely before surgery. At least try it. What is it going to hurt?
I love it. No, that's great advice. I really like it. Well, hey, thanks for being on.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, you guys go check out, what's your website?
CKFacupuncture.com.
CKFacupuncture.com. They're here in the greater Chicago area. If people have any questions about acupuncture, what's the best way to contact you? Through your website?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you know what? You can call me. My phone number's there. You could, yeah.
Got it. There you go. She's the expert, guys. Hit her up. Ask her some questions. She'll get you pointed in the right direction. Again, special thanks to our sponsors, Eco Gym. And again, if you guys are listening, take a screenshot, tag One Health Podcasts, throw it up on Instagram, and we'll try to get you guys a $50 gift card to Amazon.
Sounds good.
There it is. All right. Until next week, guys. Thanks so much for listening.